Hello, welcome back to LittleBigArt Studio with me, McQueen. It's Creatething. I thought we'd continue the series. I've just mocked this up quickly. It's a little area where I am going to concentrate on making a scene. We'll start with the background today and we'll move on from there. But we want to basically take out these parts. Now this part we're going to leave transparent, I guess is the best way to describe it. We haven't decided what is going to be our brick, our sort of rock material. I don't know whether to have real rock or use the antique map there. That looks quite good as a rock. It looks alternative rock. Let's go for an actual piece of stone and then we'll know exactly what we mean. So back to our mountain rock. Right, I'll just before I start all this, I'll do this in sort of speeded up so you could, because I'm sure you know how to put down objects and that, and when I get to the interesting part with decorations and stuff like that, then I'll come back. Okay, so now we have the bare bones of something that's beginning to look like a proper structure, and this is about halfway through the level, so it's a good place to put this in, this design. But you've got to really let your imagination go. You can do pretty much anything you like. There is no right or wrong. There is no good way or bad way of designing. It is exactly what you want to do. If you're struggling for tips or ideas, look at real architecture, things like that. But also remember that you've got lots of different layers to work with and you can do anything, you know, the sky's the limit really. Well, apart from you are restricted by thermo of course, but it's not really a big issue, trust me. Okay, we've got this interesting blocks and we want some wood. The kind of wood we want, an old decaying wood. So we want something like weathered green wood. I think weathered green wood was from the original LBP. Let's have a look. From the Canyons theme, yeah. So don't worry if you don't have the original LBP. You can always use something else. There are plenty of alternatives. I'm making this one really thin because I want to cover up this gap. Hang on. Just put that on there. If it doesn't look right, you can always adjust afterwards. Yeah, I went a little bit wrong there. Doesn't matter. I'm thinking that's too thick. Not to be confused with too thick. Yeah, like you get people saying that. I don't know whether you've heard. I was going to talk about something that's happening tonight. Something's happening tonight at 5 o'clock. PewDiePie is supposed to be deleting his channel, but he has 2 channels, so I think he's just going to delete his second one. The whole internet's lost their mind about it. Everyone's going mad, and yeah, I just think he's going to delete his second channel. Why not, eh? So there we go. We've now got a 3D structure, and then we can build stuff in front of, and we can build stuff behind. An easy way of adding to this. Oh, come on. This is the back layer. There's an easy way of adding to it though. Just make it thin. Right on the back. And you're probably guessing we want some sort of water running through there, or that the other liquid. We've pretty much got an idea of what this material is going to be like, and we're beginning to get a feel of what the level is going to look like when we finish. So just add that on there. There we go. It is beginning to look like proper material. So perhaps you want for the path we might want a very sort of red wood. That might be an interesting idea and design. You don't want to make it too complicated, but then again you don't want it to be too bland either. It's just finding the right balance and the right mix. But don't go all in there with loads of decos and that. People say I use lots of decos, but in places I probably don't. I just get the impression, you just get the impression that I use lots of decos, which is where the clever design comes in. Intelligent design, Vorsprung Dutch technique. So make sure you've got, if you ever have a piece like that where you can see through, make sure that can't happen. Easily remedied. There is another way we could stop Sackboy jumping in there. That might be of interest. Actually, I was just thinking I was going to put some bars over it, and I thought if I do that, you might end up with, because I tend to like it so you can actually see into things in the background, but you can't really see into things. So if you want to highlight the fact that you've put something there, you've put bars and you made it the way it is, let's use this, warm bars. Now the trouble is with materials is they act like they sort of act. If I was to put a light in there, just to light it up a bit, in the wrong place, tools bag, so go into a tools bag, find a nice light. I tend to use the Sci-Fi Pack construction wall light. Another one that people use commonly, I have spoken about lights and there is a tutorial that I've done on lights, is you could use a wall light like that, you could use a spherical LED, any one really, this one, dyno lamp, but for now I'm going to use this. So we go in there, add it in, it has a high, and we'll turn the brightness down a little bit, keep it neutral for now, fogginess, yep, so about that. And we want it to be invisible, but it looks a bit darker because the material's in front of it, you can't really see the light, so there's an easy way of doing that, and that is put this down to say 90%. Oh, it hasn't done it. If you're a bit too opaque, you're not going to see it. It definitely does look better with the light in there. We'll keep it like that, I think, because we can put decos over for bars, and that'll be an easy way of doing it, rather than adding another material. Also, materials are at a premium in this. You don't want to have lots of materials where you don't need to have materials. It's just unnecessary. So I'm just going to replicate over in the other tower. That's why I deleted that out. Make sure it's detached. Bring it across, of course. This is by no ways a definite, definitive guide as to what you should or shouldn't do, but we're getting there, and it's giving you an idea. Right, transparent goo. And that's our main sort of water material, if you like. So measure its length. Put it there, like that. Want it to be orangey. I don't think I had it quite that orange. That's almost amber. It's slightly. It's not passing through, so. And we want that to take up the entire area. And then I'm just going to add this in for the areas where it needs to be. For damaging material. So let's make it a bit longer. Obviously. I say obviously. It's not all obvious. Detach that point and then Go over to this point, bring that down. I mean, a lot of the easiest stuff to do is to get the materials and everything. I try and get them to work for me rather than creating logic that does the same thing, so that you can cut, because logic is quite memory intensive, and you can also, it saves time. You know it works, it won't cause any conflicting issues, there are no problems with it or anything else like that. Right. And we want, of course we want the broadcast chip again on the floaty fluid, and that's and we'll just go put that on the other floaty fluid we using up here. Get my worms huddled up. Oh yeah, that transparent goo goes like that. We want to make the all a bit shorter, and I want to make this so it's there but we don't see it this time. There we go. We can always add a bridge there or some kind of part of a building there to keep the goo, and then add more goo going through. I'll show you what I mean in the next episode, but we're getting there with this. And this is about half, like I say, it's about halfway through the level, so it would be good to have a sort of centerpiece that draws the characters, you know, that people walk through and think, oh, that's nice. Because that's about all you're going to get. Oh, that's nice, and that's about it. We need to adjust our camera as well. Our standard zoom in at 100%. I tend to have it around 75, so now that gives a different feel. Right, so let's well, not much point in playtesting this. I'll continue doing more on Monday, and you can see what it looks like then. So thank you for joining me. My name's McQueen, and yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, share for more, and I'll continue on Monday. Have a good day or good night. Bye bye.